He the keeper of the sheep, I know he able. Crack them seals, let them horses out the stable. Judgment coming, he the only one can save you. Give your life to the Holy One who made you. His sheep don't hear no other voice, no other God, no other law, ain't got no other choice. We gon' make our Father proud again, he gon' rejoice. We need each other, come together, fill that empty void. We keep these commandments, not traditions. Follow Christ, not politicians. Dedication, not no Christmas. It gets sunny when you listen. Oh, me dead and gone with missing. Ain't no need for reminiscing. Hit that water, got renewed. I thank Messiah for that fishing. And we'll never thirst again. Isaiah 12:3. Hit that reward, we put him first again. And we'll never hurt again. Put my life up in his hand. He won't fumble now. Boy, I can't go dash. Did that chicken with that mambo sauce. When you got the Father on your side, you can't take a loss. When you got Messiah on your side, you could take a cross. Got this armor on our body, we can't take it off. Giving up this world for the kingdom, you could take it off.
They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work. Y'all forget I am the leader.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thorton Township?
2025.
So those elections at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long.
I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't know.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we'd be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
Yes, yes. We will shut shit down. Blessings, blessings. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk. We're here for another round. Today, we want to basically get back focused, okay? We're going to be talking about Lori Lightfoot because she has did a one-on-one interview that I did not see. So we're going to be looking at it in real time with me for the first time. And what we're going to do is go over the Lori Lightfoot report, okay? Okay, so we're going to do that. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second. Hello. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk, and you're here with Grace Still. And we have an update for the audience. We presented a case to you guys last night, and we're going to put our client on the screen. We're going to put our client on the screen real quick. Breaking news. So this man right here, Jedediah, has been going through the motions. As we know, it was big controversy at the Thornton meeting, and this lady was not smelling like this that night, okay? So what we're going to do is give the audience an update. Thank you for being here with us today. We got amazing news. Now, we have been hearing about the news buzzing around. Tiffany Henyard being held in contempt. And I want to give a shout out to that judge for finally putting his feet down on this monster on the screen. You remember, and don't forget, rah, because we're still in the public court of opinion of what happened to my client. But what we're going to do is give you an update. As we know, has this been reported the other day, but it just happened to be an update yet today. It says, during today's hearing on the liquor license, despite where Tiffany Henyard, as mayor of Dolton, Illinois, refused to sign liquor license for the local business and was ordered to by the court to sign them, the judge cleared up what was the docket from the last week. Okay, I don't understand why this lady with this ugly face don't understand when the judge is talking to her and telling her what to do. She's pretty fucking hard-headed. Okay, guys, I'm just trying to let you know. Thank you for being here, Grace Still. You know, we got truth and justice. The judge stated she will correct the docket to reflect Henyard is in direct, not indirect, but direct. He said, you ain't listening. You're not listening, as opposed to the entry stated indirectly, criminal contempt. Okay, so now it has changed, and we're gonna pray. We're gonna pray that this woman sees the bars that she deserves. So the village of Henyard has 14 days to provide a written response to the contempt issue and issue Henyard's claim there is no pack. And I do apologize. Excuse me. Let's say that again. Henyard has 14 days to provide a written response to the contempt issue and the issue of Henyard's claiming that there were no liquor license. I wanted to clear that up. She said that there was no package liquor license available. But guess what? Our favorite clerk, Clerk Key, said, no, I'm snitching. The village clerk said, there are package liquor license available. So we're still waiting. We're going to keep our eyes up, see what's going on with this monster. We will hope that this judge lock her up because the FBI is scared. But great news on my client. Let's put him on the screen. Shout out to Mr. Jedediah Brown. You got 2 points. I told you guys. I'm going to kick ass and justice will prevail. Okay. Additionally, but not part of today's hearing, Jedediah Brown was granted emergency order of protection against Thorton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard and her married boyfriend as a direct result of the brawl. Thank you. I think we did a great job, guys. I think we all did a great job presenting what happened, presenting truth and honor. And now, Jedediah, shout out to you. You have a protection order against this monster. Okay, let's put it on the screen. Do we have the picture? Raw. Okay, so today what we're going to do is celebrate. Another point for the residents. I know it looked a little bit messy yesterday. Shit was looking kind of crazy. But, you know, got to do what you got to do. So with that being said, we're going to celebrate a little bit. All right. So let's party. Hopefully the judge does this to Henyard.
Why are you detaining me? You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. I'm Martinez. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. You about to lose your job because you are detaining me for nothing. You about to lose.
All right, guys, y'all heard the update from our favorite non-lawyer prosecutor, Grace Still. Shout out to Jedediah. Shout out to Jedediah. We wanted to start our live today with giving you breaking news. Shout out to Jedediah. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get a little serious, all right? So you know how I like to do. I like to send you guys on an emotional roller coaster. This is what we do. You hear it right now. I'm gonna this is going to be my third character for tonight. Hit the like button. I should be an actor. All right, let's go. Now today, what we're going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is present my open letter to the trustees. And this open letter to the trustees is going to be in representation of the family of Alexis Wilson And we're going to give a shout out to the Johnson family. Let me make sure the Johnson family as well as the Williams family. Let me just make sure. Yes. And on behalf of the Levi family. So today we're going to go over Lori Lightfoot report, and there's some things that she actually recommended in the report. And you know what we've been doing here. Over the whole 6 months, we've been looking into the board meetings, paying attention, finding things to fix. And one of the main issues that I have been really focused on is, helping our beautiful Cara, our beautiful Cara Wilson get some ease in her heart. If you guys are in any of the groups that she's in or friends with her, you see she mourns openly. She mourns openly, and she expressed her love for her beautiful daughter at least 3 to 5 times a week and more. Okay. So I want you guys to understand the extent of what's going on and how we're pushing and striving to get this case back in the limelight. And even if we don't get the case open, because that's not our goal, our main goal is to get this officer off of the streets. All right. Most recently, I was made aware by Miss Cara that she actually talked to Riley Rogers, and had a nice kind of heated conversation and let him know that, this thing has started in your administration, because this officer actually had his first kill under that mayor. And we're going to be going over that next week, that case and another case. We got some things to show you. We're going to be revealing some more clips of the Alexis Wilson case, and it's going to show you how these officers handled her, and much more. So we're just going to take 1 or 2 minutes for me to read our letter to you. This email, it was sent. Now certified mail is following up. Usually I sent email and then certified mail. So I'm going to read it to you right quick. And this is addressed to Clerk Key, Trustee Tammy Brown, Stan Brown, Brittany Norwood, and Kiana Belcher. Love and blessings to you guys. Okay, this is from is addressed from me, guys, and y'all do know this email came from me because I put AKA Grace Levi. All right. Blessings and good day. This letter addressed a tragic incident that hasn't received adequate justice. I am Siobhan Lashley, a friend of the family member of Alexis Wilson and Cara Wilson. On their behalf, I have investigated the circumstances surrounding the death of Cara Wilson's daughter on July 27th, 2021. Unfortunately, obtaining full transparency regarding her ultimate death and the subsequent police investigation has been a challenge. I am, however, grateful to promote a transparent response from the clerk of Dolton regarding freedom of information requests related to this matter. I am also observed a positive increase in the ethical conduct in Dolton over the past few months, and I hope this trend continue. Beyond any legal action, I seek a understanding what measures can be taken to appropriately acknowledge the loss of Alexis Wilson. Regarding that, no monetary sum can equate to the value of human life. Our immediate goal is to task the whereabouts of 2 officers involved in this excessive and deadly force case to ensure that they and any agent they work for is aware of the problematic history that they have. We will also actively work toward revoking both officers' license. Furthermore, we are aware of the Officer Carlton of the Village of Dolton is currently receiving taxpayers' money through workers' compensation. As an expert nurse of 11 years of experience in a legal nursing consultant background, I find the justification of his extended disability leave to be questionable and will be investigating this further. As you transition into your new roles as trustees of Dolton and Mr. House as new mayor, I put new mayor, but possibly new mayor, I would like to propose an idea. Given that Melanie's fitness remains a considerable liability to Dolton taxpayers, we believe that the transforming it into a development center or a YMCA dedicated to the memory of Alexis Wilson will be beneficial. This incentive can also serve as a bridge to improve the relationship between Dolton police and the community, helping to address their troubled history and dysfunctional relationship. Considering Dolton's financial constrictions, I suggest the funds from the Dolton Police Department forfeiture account to allocate to this project. I want to present this idea to you, Mr. House, and the trustees as possible way to foster a stronger relationship between the police department and the community, while also providing a meaningful means of remembering Alexis Wilson's untimely death. Her passing was a direct result of the lack of transparency, accountability, and due diligence on the part of Dolton administration and politicians. My research has also uncovered a history of police abuse within the community, as well as a defect of the hiring process. This has led to a lack of officers that are mentally, physically, and socially equipped to deal with the community. This is something that needs to be addressed to ensure the unfortunate situations like Alexis Wilson will never happen again. In conclusion, I want to thank you for your time, considering and anticipating prompt response to this matter highlighted in this letter. Siobhan Lashley, friends and family of Alexis Wilson and family members Johnson. Okay, so this is an open letter to the trustees of Dolton and the possible mayor. I did send this by email, and it is following by certified mail. We are serious about this. I am serious about this. I have, over these months, built a beautiful relationship with Cara, and I have seen her grow from where this man tried to take her soul. Okay? So I'm going to continue to keep fighting and keep striving and keep reminding you guys to say her name. And I would like you to put it in the comments, hashtag Alexis Wilson, as well as the petition will be at the bottom for you to sign. It's a free petition. And all we ask is for you guys just to sign and pass it around, because we're looking to get Officer Carlton and Officer Perez license revoked. All right. So we're going to get to the Lori Lightfoot report in 1 second, but we're going to give a minute and give love and blessings to our baby girl, Alexis Wilson.
I'm Cara Wilson. I'm the mother of Alexis Wilson, killed by Dolton, Illinois police. At the time that my daughter was killed, Tiffany stood in front of a microphone much like this and said that she stood with the cops, and they did do the right thing by killing my 19-year-old child. Not only did she not take those words back, she didn't offer her condolences. She's never said anything. The first thing she did was hire this group of security guards to surround her and PR. So the real reason Tiffany has security is hiding from accountability about what she said about Alexis Wilson when she was killed. Now, if you watch the coverage of this murder, these officers violated her rights, reached in her car, jumped in her car, and put 7 bullets in my child, 2 in her head and 5 down her side. And the next day, you guys tried to spin it like she did something. Watch the video. She did nothing to deserve this. And again, last time they brought up Alexis, she's doing what she does now. Look this way, look that way, every way, but at the person talking. You don't give a damn, and you never did, and you never acted like it. She called out a whole press conference to call my daughter a criminal, an Homewood Flossmoor graduate with no criminal record. But Tiffany, you have one, because we used your mugshot to protest in front of your house, and that's why you hid. That's why you have security. So let's tell the truth, which I know you're incapable of. I wouldn't trust this woman if she stood on a stack of Bibles and had her tongue notarized. Not a damn thing she says comes out her mouth is true. Thank you.
Say
Alexis.
All right. Okay. All right.
Amidst your shattering grief, the mayor of your village, Tiffany Henyard, who herself is a mother to a young daughter, approaches the podium. With a chilling lack of empathy, she callously declares to the public that your daughter deserved her fate, attributing it to her supposed poor behavior. She refuses to even acknowledge your presence as you beg for justice, your voice trembling with raw pain. Is this the kind of leader you want for Dolton? Someone so cold-hearted, so detached, so corrupt that she can turn her back on a grieving mother and a tragedy of unimaginable proportions. You have the power to effect change. You deserve a leader who embodies compassion, integrity, and genuine commitment to justice. Jason House can be that change. Perhaps she can be commemorated with a grand painting, a lasting tribute to the vibrant life she should have led. Another meaningful step could be passing a law in her name that holds law enforcement accountable for using excessive and unjustified force during their encounters. And let's not ignore the true character of Tiffany Henyard, a mayor who has squandered taxpayer money on opulent luxuries like lavish trips, first-class accommodations, high-end meals, and even has taxpayers paying the salary of her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, all while neglecting the very people she was entrusted to serve. Justice for Alexis Wilson, and let's clean house for 2025.
All right. So with that goes to say, the information will be in the description. And now we're going to get to our broadcast. So tonight, what we're going to be doing, guys, is going over the Lori Lightfoot interview. Hold on one second. I want to make myself a square. Yes, I want to make myself a square. So we're going to be doing the Lori Lightfoot interview. Lori Lightfoot strikes back. She says she don't like what people are saying about her hard work, her $400 an hour. Don't play any games with her. Don't play with me. But before we do that, I want to just remind you guys and update you, because there was another article that came across my desk. You know, that's on the phone. Illinois lawmakers eye recall of elected officials. Now, we already said that they have wrote up a bill, so it takes a few steps before something becomes a law. So now the lawmakers are looking at this bill to see if they're going to support it. So I don't know if it's in the House. Let's see where it's at this point. Illinois lawmakers eye recall of elected officials. So this is what I wanted you guys to pay attention to a few lives ago that I brought this up. And now I want you guys to know the bill, okay? Because the bill is House Bill 1084. So let's listen to this article, because people were getting really sick of people like, let's put it on the screen, Tiffany Henyard, especially after last night. I think they're going to start moving faster to get these people the hell up out of here. People like her. Don't be fooled by the baby doll eyes. Right there. Okay? Let's listen to this article real quick, because I want you guys to stay up to date.
The Center Square. Legislators from both sides of the aisle are urging the Illinois General Assembly to work together to give voters the ability to hold elected government officials accountable. State Representative LaShawn D. Chicago is continuing in his crusade to create a process that could give Chicago voters the power to immediately recall their mayor from office. House Bill 1084 seeks to create a pathway for such action. It would require an affidavit being filed with the Board of Elections and a petition being signed by voters equal to at least 15% of the total votes cast in the previous Chicago mayoral election. While Ford is adamant that voters should have such options at their disposal in cases where they've lost total confidence in a leader, he's quick to add Mayor Brandon Johnson's current struggles with voters isn't what's fueling his actions. This was something that was asked for when Laquan McDonald was assassinated by police in 2014, Ford told the Center Square. Everyone looked for a way to deal with the administration, and they searched to find out how to remove the mayor. They realized that there was no mechanism in place. They asked for a recall bill to be filed for the mayor of the city of Chicago. Ford adds he's filed some version of the bill every year since 2015, and nothing about his actions are motivated by Johnson's current struggles with voters, including a November Change Research poll that found 70% of them now have an unfavorable opinion of him. This bill is not targeting the mayor, he said. It's really just about having good policy. Poll numbers could change overnight. You don't recall a mayor or an elected official based on polling numbers because they could turn around and numbers could shoot up. My intent is to just have the mechanism in place in case there are circumstances that require the need to remove a mayor from office. State Representative Dan Ugast, R. Geneva, as a separate measure in House Bill 1304, which provides that local office holders who were elected during a general or consolidated election may be recalled under the act. Ford and Ugast released a joint statement Thursday saying they plan to work together to have a comprehensive process to empower local voters. In extreme cases, it would be in the best interest of residents and taxpayers to have options in place to remove public officials who have acted inappropriately or have historically low approval ratings, Ugast said. Representative Ford and I have both filed legislation to address accountability for office holders, and it would be in the best interest of all Illinoisans if we can work together in a bipartisan manner, which we have committed to start. The process to initiate these recalls should not be easy, and with high threshold limits and signature requirements, any political or partisan concerns should not be a factor.
That's right.
Ford said he's dedicated to collaborating with Republicans and Ugast. We must get this right and prioritize the needs of voters, Ford said in the statement. Holding public officials accountable is vital for restoring and maintaining public trust, and we are responsible for ensuring that voters have a voice when elected leaders fail to meet expectations. Legislators returned to the Capitol Tuesday. Greg Bishop contributed to this report.
All right. So you see that it is across the board. You got the Dems and Republicans looking at this bill. They pretty much sick of it. And you got my man Freud talking about we're not going after no one Pacific. But this was something that was up there for a while, they said. Okay, so since 2025. So now they're pushing the bill because it's gross. It's gross in Illinois. Let's put this gross woman on the phone, on the board. Okay, so let's just keep our eye on it. So now it's moving along. It's in the General Assembly. So we're going to see how that trucks along to get the people their justice because we're sick of it. Pretty sick of it. All right, now we're going to put our favorite lady on the screen. One of our favorite ladies. This is Miss Regina. So we're going to put NBC News. Lightfoot speaks at the brawl at last Thornton Township meeting. So let's see. I didn't watch this, y'all. I've been busy. So I'm kind of getting it raw with y'all. Let's play it.
First time in weeks, it's back to business in Thornton Township. The government there is back up and running after a shutdown. But the big story today continues to be what happened at last night's meeting when Tiffany Henyard was involved in a fight. Regina Waldrop was there. She joins us now with the story. What a turn of events, Regina.
That's right, Mayor. You know, I've covered a lot of meetings in my time as a reporter, but nothing like the one last night. Words were said, then a large fight broke out with Tiffany Henyard, who is township supervisor, and the mayor of Dolton and her boyfriend right in the middle of it.
Let me tell you something, YouTube. Now, if you ain't giving them all stuff, don't give me all stuff. That's why it's not a lot of y'all in the audience, because we caught a little restriction from playing this damn Henyard, getting us in trouble. I know a few content creators got in trouble. Yeah, they put like an age restriction. So hit the like button. Make sure we in the algorithm. You know I'm used to getting in trouble. But this is the news, YouTube. Knock it off. Knock it the hell off. Balance. And you know my hard-head ass gonna play it again. Balance.
So this is what happened right after a community activist called Tiffany Henyard an expletive. Fists flying, kicks, people jumping on tables. Dolton trustees who were not at that meeting called the events unfortunate and sad. Now this was.
I love it. I love how they showed DeMarcus breaking the TV. So clear. Go ahead, Regina. You be getting the good clips. Get them, girl.
It was the first meeting in weeks for the Thornton Township Board, with all trustees in attendance, including Stephanie Weidman, who was just voted into the seat last week. Earlier in the evening, the board voted to put two of Henyard's key allies on paid administrative leave. Her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, who runs an at-risk youth program, and William Moore, another employee. The board also approved an investigation of the youth program run by Woods. Now today, Henyard's attorney said she suffered minor injuries after she tried.
And now every time I see William Moore face, I'm going to be like, you devil. That's all I can hear in my head, back and forth. Shout out to Miss Nicole. You devil. Let's play it.
Break up the melee, and all legal options would be pursued. Earlier this week, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who was hired to look into misuse of village funds in Dolton, said she found similar financial issues in the township.
Spending in excess was happening in Thornton Township, but at an elevated level because it's a bigger budget. What we also saw was, lots of people having credit cards in their own name and spending it on a range of things that if I were in Thornton Township government, I'd want to know, were these legitimate government purposes or not?
Lightfoot says lots of questions remain, and she hopes her investigation leads to more oversight in the township. So Lori Lightfoot conducted a 9-month investigation into the spending habits of Tiffany Henyard and her administration in Dolton. She sat down with us today to discuss some of her most troubling findings. We'll have that story coming up at 6.
Looking forward to that. Regina, thank you.
So what we're going to do is actually watch that. Now, I'm going to put it a little faster because Lori Lightfoot got the dry eye thing going on. Blessings, everyone in the audience. Blessings. Hit the like button. Get us in the algorithm. We got in trouble. We got in trouble for playing the fight. Fight. Like, what the hell? The news is playing it, but I think it's like a certain amount of seconds that they could play it. Like, I kind of know that, but I was like, slow motion for you. Fight. And again, we're going to just highlight. We're going to be showing some reels throughout the weekend, but I do want to highlight that God has the final say. I don't care what nobody say. He got the first lick off on Tiffany. Y'all saw that. She hit that desk. Shout out to you, Miss Foxy Roxy. You kept saying it in the audience, saying it like, oh my gosh, she hit her face. She hit it so hard, she was just like, boom, boom. And she just moved on forward and knocked all the men down. But yeah, we're gonna do some flashbacks this weekend, nothing to get us in trouble. All right, so now where we at? Hit the like button. What we got? I want to say shout out to my favorite resident. She's gonna be proud of me. You're going to be proud of me. You know why you're going to be proud? Okay, so Ms. Lightfoot reported 73 pages. Now, I don't know what the hell she showed us, but it is some detail in there that I do think that we do need to reiterate. Honestly, I'm going to ask some questions about some stuff. I went through all 73 of them in 45 minutes. Hit the like button, my favorite resident, if you're watching. Just what I do. That shit was short. I was like, oh my God. But we got it. So we got a few that we're going to highlight. But before that, we're going to play Lori Lightfoot interview. I haven't heard it. We're going to play a little fast because she got the dry eye thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Put people to sleep. And I put you to bed. Okay, Lightfoot, let's go. Hit the like button. Love you guys.
Your 9-month investigation.
I think it was the level of systematic, intentional effort to shield from the village trustees and the public what the true financial state of the village was. I mean, we see in Mayor Henyard and her key people in her administration just this reckless disregard for governmental norms, spending on whatever she wanted without seeking any kind of budgetary approval, without looking to see whether or not the spending aligned with the budget.
So fast? Why you gonna bring that up so fast? Yeah. Shout out to my favorite fave. We got the clip. Y'all want to see it? You want to show it now? I can show it now. Let me just get it ready. Because this is what you had said. You said, do you got the clips? Yes. And y'all do know. I'm going to have to highlight y'all. Hold on one second. Y'all know they kicked me out of Dolton Politics. You better tell them put Grace Levi back in there. I ain't even do anything. I'm all quiet and shit, minding my business, getting in trouble. Because I you know what I'm saying? The segment we helping Jedediah and shit, get us in trouble. Get us back in there. The hell wrong with you? Hold on one second. Let me get this on the screen. Matter of fact, let me remove this. And we're gonna put that in. We're gonna put that down there. Hopefully it fit right there. All right. Yes. Some of the things that Lightfoot is saying, and one of the PowerPoints that I looked at, we're going to look at, it talks about checks again. And it's so weird because in the PowerPoint, it said it was like $6 million in checks that was written but there's still like it was like 5 million or so that was just sitting. The amount of checks that was sitting, there were about 5 million or so. So people trying to figure out what the hell happened to the other checks. So when I got this clips out, you know me, I gotta be Miss Legal Beagle. You know, that's kind of suggestive. But we're gonna be suggestive over here tonight because you gotta see it. She looking like a little like a crackhead. Is this our Superman? This can't be her. Is this Tiffany, y'all? Do it look like our Superman? And look at the snippet of. You know it's in because you can't roll.
An investigation finds Chicago's mayor.
Yeah, so remember this investigation on Chicago's mayor. Thank you for bringing that up because that was the last thing that I had got. Like, okay, I was going to slip it in the middle of the report, but I wanted to show y'all now since you brought it up. Yeah, it's a little suspect. Let's finish listening to Lori Lightfoot. We're going to bring that clip back up when we get to that PowerPoint that talks about all those checks. I had to give y'all a little bit that was in her 73 pages. I think the issue is that Lori Lightfoot is bland and she don't know how to present. There's some things that she could have presented. They wasn't new like new from Atlanta, but they were decent. You see what I'm saying? She could have put it together a little bit better. So we're going to help Lori Lightfoot out tonight. Because I was talking shit. I was like, come on, you like Lori Lightfoot. Let's go.
Budget, just doing whatever she wanted as if she was all powerful and had no accountability to anyone.
You mentioned Thornton Township.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't mess with Lori Lightfoot. I got it on fast forward. She ain't talking fast like Henyard.
And similar issues happening there. How concerned should residents in those 17 communities be about this?
I think they should be very concerned. Look, we only saw a little tip of the iceberg of what was happening in Thornton Township, but all the things that we saw suggested that the same kind of disregard for any kind of fiscal fiduciary responsibility, spending in excess was happening in Thornton Township, but at an elevated level because it's a bigger budget. What we also saw was, lots of people having credit cards in their own name and spending it on a range of things that if I were in Thornton Township government, I'd want to know, were these legitimate government purposes or not? I think there's a lot of questions that remain for what's happening in Thornton Township that hopefully now that the government is back up and running, somebody will say, we need to have some oversight over this.
You also brought up her boyfriend, Kamal Woods, and the position he holds in that was possibly he may not be qualified to hold that position?
Well, we have no idea because his personnel file had about 2 pieces of paper in it. And it was mostly the paperwork to get him paid. There was no resume, no background information, no letters of reference. So one doesn't know whether or not he's actually qualified to hold the job that he was given at taxpayer expense.
Look at him.
So residents have been asking lawmakers to step in, look at this for years. I've seen the letters.
Yes.
It's been going on. They've tried why is no one paying attention to what is happening in Dolton?
Well, let me say this. Yes, the residents of Dolton, as well as the elected officials there, have been asking for help at every level of government, state level, county level, and frankly, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the state's Attorney's Office, and most have not responded or turned a deaf ear to what's going on in Dolton, which is unfortunate because a lot of the stuff that we've uncovered could have been uncovered years ago had there been a consistent look at what was happening there. It didn't have to get this far for so many years, but those are questions that those other elected officials, I think, are going to have to answer. But what I will also say is what's happening in Dolton is not unique, unfortunately. There is issues across the Southland. And I know that because over the course of our work in Dolton, I've heard from elected officials in other Southland municipalities, other stakeholders down there who have told a tale of lack of transparency around finances, excessive spending, travel, and so forth that's happening in municipality after municipality. And they too are being shut out from getting access to information that they're entitled to as elected officials, and the public is being shut out through FOIA and otherwise. This is not a problem that is unique to Dolton, sadly. So I think hopefully this is a wake-up call for those other municipal leaders that eventually the pendulum is going to swing in your direction, and that they really need to clean up their act. But it's got to take people standing up and demanding more. Certainly going to the polls and voting, but also consistently being their own watchdog of what's happening in their towns or village, and making sure that there's a light that's shined on the activities of these governments, so that people don't enrich themselves or squander precious taxpayer dollars that aren't done and used in the benefit of residents in those municipalities.
With that in mind, in the other communities that this may be happening in, would you continue, or would you do an investigation like this in another Southland community?
Well, I'm in discussions with some other of those communities, and we'll see how things transpire. Certainly, I've had a lot of conversations and offered support and advice. We'll see whether or not I get involved again in another place. But I just think that there's a better way to do business. And
I'm just gonna say, let me see you do it without the YouTubers. Let me see. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, Ms. Lightfoot.
Look, I would also just say, as a Black woman, raised at a time when Black people having any positions of power were such a rarity, my parents taught me, you got to represent not only just your family, but your community. And to see elected officials who are the same race as the people in their towns doing this to them, it hurts my heart. I mean, it really does. That was frankly a big motivating factor for me to get involved in Dolton. We can and do better. We have plenty of great examples across the country of Black leadership that is excellent and doing things the right way. But it's harmful to everything that we stand for when we see this kind of conduct happening, as happened in Dolton and now Thornton Township.
It's interesting you say that, because Mayor Henyard has said numerous times that people are coming after her because she is a Black woman.
No, she's made a spectacle of herself. My family, my wife and I and my daughter were in Houston last spring of 2024. My daughter had a AAU basketball tournament, and my wife and I stole away for one night to go to a local barbecue joint, but out of the main downtown area. And it's a tiny little place. You walk in, you got to queue up, you get a tray, cafeteria style, and get your food. And as we walked in,
you see what she's doing? I'm sorry, Lightfoot. Oh, go ahead, baby. Go ahead, talk.
There was a table of older gentlemen that were sitting, and they looked at me, and I thought, uh-oh, what is this going to be? So we just kind of shuffled through the line. And as we got close and I was rounding the bend, I heard somebody say, "Excuse me." And I thought I was standing in the way. So I moved out of the way. And the gentleman said, no, don't go away. And I turned and I looked at him, and he said, "Are you going to get that, Mayor Tiffany Henyard?" Now, this is down in Houston. And then he quickly said, "But if you do, I don't know what I'm going to watch on YouTube." And in some ways it's funny, but the fact is she made a spectacle of herself, calling herself the super mayor, all this spending, which was basically like a perpetual campaign. How did that benefit the residents of Dolton? It didn't. And now they've got a big financial mess that they're going to have to dig out of. But I'm encouraged by what I've seen and heard from the residents of that town. They understand what good government is about. They understand what they should be expecting from their elected officials, but they've got to show up and vote.
Is that your message to them? Show up and vote?
You have to. I mean, you look at what happened 4 years ago in the election that made Mayor Henyard the mayor of the village. Only 9.5% of the registered voters voted. I've really never heard of a turnout that low. So I just think your vote is one of the most powerful tools in a democracy. You cannot complain.
You had to start talking about Henyard and some more of that report, lady.
About the government if you don't do your part to make sure you get a government that you actually deserve.
At the end, you mentioned that you'd given some recommendations to trustees that they were already trying to implement. Can Dolton right this ship and get back to what you say is good government?
Look, I'm 100% convinced that Dolton can come out of this dark period in time, but it's going to take people of goodwill, not exploiting the residents, but working on behalf of the residents. They obviously have a municipal election that's coming up here in about a month. That will, I think, really be a telltale sign as to whether or not they're able to move forward with leadership that is serving on behalf of the residents. They're going to need some help, I think, from the state legislature because the budget deficit is probably still around $6 million, but all the back debt that's owed really pushes in probably somewhere between 10 and 15 million. That's not an insurmountable amount, but if Dolton is going to have to fend for itself, then it is going to be a huge, huge challenge that they may not be able to meet. They're going to need some help from Springfield. There's no question about that.
Conservatorship, maybe?
No, I think that they're going to need to have, with strings attached, of course, but I think they're going to need to have some appropriation to help bail them out. There is a process that was put in place some years ago. I think they qualify for that. And I know that that's one of the things that's under discussion. Once they see what's the leadership of Dolton going to be going forward, is Mayor Henyard going to return, or is it going to be a new mayor, new board of trustees to lead Dolton forward?
2 more questions.
Yep.
The alleged victim in Las Vegas, you said she did not cooperate with your investigation.
Correct.
She has told me she did cooperate as much as her attorney would let her. What do you say to that?
Well, that may be true. Look, when you know, as a lawyer myself, I have an ethical obligation.
That's funny because I thought the same thing when I looked at her report and she said that. I was like, and then I was like, well, she can only talk so much. That's so crazy.
That I can't contact someone directly who's represented by counsel. We did try to get her cooperation. The other police officer who was a witness to cooperate, that represented the same attorney. We never heard back from that attorney. More recently, people came to me and said, hey, she wants to talk to you. And I said, I'm willing to talk to her, but she's got to get authorization from her lawyer. We never heard from them again. So she may have wanted to cooperate. She's the client. She didn't tell, obviously, a director lawyer to say, hey, I want to cooperate with Mayor Lightfoot's investigation. So what we know about it, we know from police records, we know from the litigation that has been filed. Obviously, people were in our ear about a lot of things, but that was one where we weren't able to make much progress on because we didn't get the cooperation of key witnesses.
Final question here. Any plans for you to run for mayor or any other office again? Because your name is coming up a lot in a lot of circles.
No, you know what? I have no intentions of running for any office again under any circumstances. I had the best job in the world. Every day serving as the mayor of the city was an incredible honor. I don't see myself running for any other office again.
I lied. One more question.
All right, that's fine.
And you mentioned this the other night. Some people ask me, what's taking so long with the federal government? What's taking so long? There have been subpoenas.
Yeah.
Why? Any idea?
Well, I don't really know. And, look, they're not going to bring charges unless they feel very confident that they're going to end up in a conviction. That's been the standing practice of the local U.S. Attorney's Office for decades and decades. What I will also say is under longstanding Department of Justice policy, no charges can be brought against an elected official or others that could have an influence over an election. There's a 90-day window that nothing can happen regarding charges before that election because, of course, the Department of Justice doesn't want to look like it's putting its thumb on the scale.
Baby, we've been doing this for a long time, and the trustees been doing this for 3 years. I'm gonna be nice. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
In favor or against a particular candidate or candidates. So the 90-day window really started back in November. Nothing's going to happen at least through the end of February, beginning of March, as it pertains to any elected official. Well, whether or not there are charges that are going to be brought against others, whether or not indictments that have already been announced will be superseded. I think those things, the latter, the superseding indictments, are definitely something that will probably happen. I think it's an open question as to whether or not there are going to be charges brought against Mayor Henyard or others. I don't think anybody knows that.
And again, another question I asked you the other night, with the changing of the administration, could this impact this investigation?
It certainly could. I would be surprised if it did. Every administration comes in with a set of priorities, and those priorities certainly are communicated to the Department of Justice and the office, the U.S. Attorney's offices across the country. I'd be surprised if there was a change in the course of the investigation of the village of Dolton and lots of different folks as a result of the change in administration. Possible, but I'd be surprised if that happened.
I guess this is my final question, though. A lot of migrants did start here when you were still mayor, and as you see everything play out now, any comment on what's happening now?
Yeah, look, to be clear, Chicago's been a home for immigration and for migrants really from its earliest days. I mean, we were started and kind of founded by a Haitian immigrant and his Potawatomi wife. So this is part of our DNA.
Stop, passe. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm telling you, you better love Haitian people. That's why you're part of the Levi family. Go. I didn't watch this. I'm sorry. The Haitian came out. So we started talking about Haitian people. Okay, let's play it. I'm sorry.
And people have been coming here for centuries, for decades. That's nothing different. And
I hear what she said. Let's replay it. All I heard was Haitian people. I'm sorry, y'all. I know they're doing bad by my people. I just blanked out. That's all I heard was Haitian people. I started dancing. Come on.
It's part of our DNA. And people have been coming here for
Mayor, and as you see everything play out now, any comment on what's happening now?
Yeah, look, to be clear, Chicago's been a home for immigration and for migrants really from its earliest days. I mean, we were started and kind of founded by a Haitian immigrant and his Potawatomi wife. So this is part of our DNA, and people have been coming here for centuries, for decades. That's nothing different. And yes, we are an incredibly diverse city. That's one of our superpowers. And what we've seen, I think, play out, while it's gotten a ton of publicity, it's standard fare work by federal authorities, going after folks who have criminal histories, folks who have overstayed their visas. I haven't seen anything in the reporting, either here or elsewhere, that makes it look like this mass deportation, that saber that's been wrapped.
You gonna talk about Henyard a little bit more? How we get on this? I'm sorry, I had got distracted. All I saw was Haitian people. I heard that, and I just started dancing. But it just caught me now. I'm like, wait a minute, wasn't we talking about Henyard? Huh? What happened? Yeah, honeymoon. I am a little stressed. I'm not totally pleased. That's serious. I'm not pleased totally with the Lori Lightfoot report. I have to say it, and I mentioned it. I'm not mad at Lori Lightfoot. She did the best that she can do. And shout out to you, Just. I saw you was trolling for a little while, so you paid your way back in. I appreciate you. But please, be an adult. You know what I'm saying? You could crack jokes, but you just don't be weird. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. But yeah, I look stressed because maybe my expectations was a little bit more higher. And I'm not being funny. Most of the things that she did release when she talked was a lot of the things that was on the public platform already. A lot of the stuff that we already know. So a lot of people were looking for more detailed things. And I know her hands were tied. But then some of the things that I'm going to show you in the actual presentation, she did not present. So that kind of made it like, okay, you could have brung this out a little bit. Maybe people would have got a little bit more excited. And then also, it just troubles me that she couldn't go deeper into this with some of the information she had. It seemed like it was El Stapo, but you have Keith Freeman there. And Keith Freeman is working at Dolton. I did a Freedom of Information request, and he is still there. He's working there. So if it got so much better that him being there made people release stuff, even though I said his department heads, and it actually takes the body of the system to make it happen, not the administrator, but it kind of just made me not happy. So I wanted to give her a chance to strike back and come with some stuff. So did she finish? Did she say anything else about here, y'all? Let's listen. She started talking about migration. We could talk about that, but that's not what we're here for tonight. Because y'all know I started talking about Haiti. I started talking about all types of stuff. Let's just stay focused.
Rattled over and over again. And look, I don't wish that on anyone. Having been the mayor in 2019, when a very similar set of saber rattling happened, the fear that is struck in the hearts of people that are just trying to live their lives, work hard, take care of their kids and their families. No one needs to have that sort of Damocles hanging over their heads. And unfortunately, this is the climate that we are in. This is the chaos that they like to create, and the fear without any regard for the consequences. I remember talking to a group of young.
No, I'm sorry. We done. I appreciate you, Lightfoot. I'm not being disrespectful. I know honeymoon be all kind of sensitive. We got other stuff to do tonight. And you start telling stories and stuff. All I'm saying is that some of the things that I was kind of looking forward to. Let me give you an example. We're going to talk about these damn officers. Now, why we couldn't figure out more detail about who was on her team, how much they got paid in overtime, and that was actually disclosed through a Freedom of Information request that was put out there by Ty, I think, a while ago. But that goes to say, then, were they moving forward to report this to Internal Affairs or to, a police division that's in charge of those type of things to get them in trouble, what were the next steps? It was more things that she could have found out, even with the officers who were on Tiffany team, kind of like basically doing a minor RICO. You know what I'm saying? Starting to hone in on people. We wanted to hear the people and the names and how we could get them, because that's what I know we've been showing here. Names, people, how we could get them, what's going on. So that was one of the things that I said that she could have talked about, the officers and the report. And, Internal Affairs is supposed to be over. And if it's there, no Internal Affairs, Now she needs to report to the state agency the defects. Let me give you an example. I made a Freedom of Information request to Dolton, and when we talk about it, basically I asked them who was in charge, who was the board over reviewing officers involved shootings. And according to their policy, they have a board that oversees that makes sure that it's the right investigation and things like that. I asked who was that. That party does not exist. The board does not exist. These are certain things that maybe she could go more in detail with to say, look, this is the problem. This is where money is being, and even too, I mentioned in our letter, the forfeiture, the police forfeiture. You heard, Yoshi, and I don't got his picture. Y'all know who Yoshi is. Y'all forgot who Yoshi is. I don't got his picture up right now. Officer Lacey. He talked about the forfeiture of money and them being able just to spend it and do whatever they wanted to do. Those are some of the things she could have honed in on and got more information, because those spending, those records should be right there. And one of the things she did mention is that it was not mandated that the personnel of Dolton actually go along with the investigation. But my thing is, why not? Why wouldn't they? So some of these things were retrievable that I was kind of looking for just on the officer level. Then, like I said, with the checks situation, the credit card situation, one of the things, and we're going to get into that and show you on a PowerPoint, she mentioned that it was hard to figure out who received them, who ordered them, but if you said everybody just now had their own personal credit cards with their own personal name, then So I pay attention to some shit, and I'm like, okay, so it's like it's maybe some bureaucratic bullshit going on, excuse my language. I don't know, where certain entities they don't want to expose and certain they may want to. So to save face, you just don't say shit. I just said that the other day, like, man, me and INA relationship is contentious. We all on the same path, but if they do wrong right now, if he wrong, I'm just gonna shut the hell up. But if you right and I figure this shit out, we gonna broadcast this motherfucker and go get this broad. So that's kind of how it worked. You know what I'm trying? When you got the same material motive, but ours is to take Henyard down, theirs is to be Democrats. I'm just kind of throwing shit out there, but I'm not saying that she's, but it just I'm asking, I'm saying things, and that's why my face is looking really serious. And okay, so also if you was paying attention, Laura, I love you, girl, but not only we talked about the alleged car ring, but actually Kiana brought up that there were cars that were bought and then disappeared and allegedly sold. She's saying, but then he like, I ain't selling nothing. All the stuff. Kiana was talking about the cars, and then Tiffany started gaslighting her, talking about, oh yeah, all the stuff in the basement is still in the basement, not sold. I ain't sell nothing. And I'm listening to this shit like, girl, she was talking about the cars. How the fuck you got to the basement stuff that was supposed to be? So that's how she gaslight. And that's what I was thinking, that maybe some of those things could be addressed, because now you got my man with the master plan. He the one that had the key. He the one, the whistleblower. He had the key to all of the gyms. So that would have opened a can of worms if those cars were sold, linking them to more people. The main thing was to link it to people, situations, to put together a alleged RICO case. I mean, I'm just saying, that's the type of shit that I kind of think about. So that's why I got the serious face. What else? Because we're going to get to the PowerPoint. We're not doing all 73 pages, because we pretty much got 15 or 20 of them. I got all through it. Okay. So, Lori Lightfoot was actually 70 something pages. I keep saying any number that pop in my head. 73 pages, yeah. And we're going to go over that. So another thing I wanted her to address, and I have to say it, me. But I'm grateful for lesser price. Yeah. The total amount of legal fees that has been paid over the years that Tiffany Henyard has been there. Now, it's going to be hard to determine how much the legal fees is going to be for cases that's not settled. But we know the cases that was settled, and we know the fees that was paid for and to who. So That is something that I would have loved to hear, but that wasn't put out there because that may have made people uncomfortable. You know how we got to do, make people all comfortable and stuff, restrict our freedom of speech, restrict telling the truth. So I'm like, okay, we don't get nothing about the legal fees. That's something you could calculate right there down there. So to say that it's about 6 million, then you got back, and she said about 10 to 15, it's grossly off. Because I gotta say, it's just common sense, even with the one damn lawsuit for $33.5 million. That's way more than you calculating. You should at least add that in there to spice up the number. Shit. And then when she was saying the general funds had like $1.5 million, that was the last number that I looked at on the March thing. So we pretty much spot on. And also, I brought up that Dolton spends about $2 million a month on bills. We talked about that in details, and it's pretty average. The issue was the unauthorized money. It's a whole cash, just cash. Now, I don't know what cash means. Is it cash in a drawer, cash at the bank? But it's something with this cash. And I think you guys need to figure that out. We're going to look at the PowerPoint. Two more things, okay? These some of the things that I've been looking for, but I'm a cornball. I ask the questions that get everybody wiped up. Like, ugh, fuck, Lashley's there. I'm sorry, question. It is what it is. Now, business license. That was something. I made a Freedom of Information request for that. And they forwarded to that department. And that department said that my request was too abundant. I said, hey, can I get business license that was approved between 2022 to 2024? 2 years. Tiffany ain't do but so many business licenses, so how the hell it was abundant? I didn't say all. I said a list. So I know what words to use. They just said, oh, no. I'm coming after your ass for that answer, right? So I just asked how many was applied for and how many was granted. And I know I shouldn't have got a list more than 5. So that was some of the things that Lori Lightfoot should have paid attention to, because financially she's debilitating the area through real estate. And we're going to follow up with a part 2 with that and a part 3. Okay. So that was something that I think that could have been added on to the report. What's going on with that, and the good thing is that in her report, she tried to find ways to fix it. So that was good, because y'all know that's the time I'm on. I ain't going to keep fucking complaining unless I come up with a master plan. I'm like, we can do this. And then people will be like, and I'm like, okay. And 5 minutes later, implement it. Bam. Story of my fucking life. Excuse me. It happened all the time. I'll be like, whatever. As long as y'all doing it right, I'm out of here. I'm just here to bust up the system and get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Go end up in a place in Barbados, chilling on the beach while everybody's stressing. I'm just playing. I done went to the left. All right, one more thing. And this is for the residents. Now, I don't know if they actually addressed this, but I know it's been consistent with this water bill thing. So that's 2 issues. The one, residents being charged incorrectly, grossly, and that's part of infrastructure. I know that's not infrastructure as far as land and streets, but that equipment belongs to the county. It's supposed to be, Dolton is supposed to be taken care of, maintained, working right, inspected. These type of things. If you had enough people who had that mind, they'd have sued Dolton black asses for them damn water bills. So that's another liability. So I named a few things that made my face kind of tight, because I think that's just mine. I know people can name their own, but that's kind of what I was thinking. But let's move forward, because I'm not going to throw Lori under the bus, because it do take a lot to make 73 pages of fucking PowerPoint. I'm going to tell you that shit. I was like, go girl, it's nice and together and just together and nice. Let me get y'all comments. Let's get to it. Let me get to y'all comments. Where you at? Where you at? Watch the madness happen. Where y'all at? Y'all having a big conversation? Because I done left y'all. And do y'all kind of see where I'm going? I want to interact with y'all. Do you think that in Dolton, with a new administration and a new overhaul police department, that maybe some of the unsolved murders can be investigated? Yeah, and also another thing, the hiring process. It has to be legit, and that was one of the things that Lori Lightfoot had brought up. Just when she talked about, she tried to call out Carmen. What? Lori Lightfoot don't like Carmen? She wasn't part of the fix? How the hell you call Carmen out? The hell? Carmen trying. I was like, what the fuck? But they're gonna put there with her boyfriend and shit. So with that goes to say, I think the hiring process, their requirements to really check their background and consider it and take the good old boy system out, because with the police, it's gonna kind of be an issue, because this is across the nation where they're literally hiring officers who's jumping from place to place. But it's going to take the town, the county, the city to get a grip on that, to stop that and make sure that they get the right people in there. So that's through voting and through putting pressure on your public officials, like the trustees, like I did. Open letter to the trustees. What you gonna do? Can we get some love? Can we get some recompense? Because y'all sitting there right there next to them officers laughing and kikiing. And they not feeling like they supposed to do what they supposed to do. Did anyone see Tiffany and KP going to the check cashing place? Yes. So we did show the clip. We're gonna show this clip again. Shout out to our favorite resident who hooked us up with that. When we get to the check cashing, not the check cashing, the one that talk about the checks, okay? It says, honeymoon, I think the Delgado group will be exposed as a ringleader in the RICO of all. No comment. I'm gonna say, who got the 8 ball? Me or you? Me or you, honeymoon? You know what I'm saying? Mafia? Or all the houses missing? Why can't they investigate some of the houses gone? I think they sold them through tax sales, and then they gave them to the what was it again? I watched it because it was between the I know it's right at the tip of my tongue, because Tiffany wanted to do the block by block for her, but then they were giving it to, what was it? I can't say in a scrap yard, but it's not. They were just giving it to the company to see if the company could sell it to get it back in the market. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If it popped at the tip of my tongue, but basically the company will sell it, the house, and get it back in the market to get taxes with no recompense. And that's where Tiffany was mad. Like, so they're just going to sell it and get the profit. And the trustees said that they could actually, alter the contract with that company and have them get some type of money. But I don't know if they ever solidified that deal. So, because, these meetings kind of went to the left. So here we go. Kamal Woods should be sued by the township for all the money he has been paid. Tiffany made that position up. So also, I did get, okay, also thank you for bringing that up, because I made a freedom of information request that I told y'all about Kamal Woods, and I was told that hold on, about the program. Give me 1 second. They didn't give me no answer. Excuse me. They said that information don't exist. Hold on 1 second. Let me look at all the ones. Let me just see if I got. Give me 1 second, y'all, because I got so many back most recently. I want to make sure. Okay, that's the Illinois Training Board. I'm mad at them too. They ain't got no damn policies. Something wrong with them. This one is from the housing department from the village of Dolton. When I made the request, and my request was this, I'm gonna read it to you. I said, this is a formal request for a list of business license applied for from 1/2022 to 12/2024. That's 2 years. I know I should have. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna redo it again. I'm gonna do 1 year. I said, with this request, I'm also asking for a list of business, a license approved from the same year. And the person who replied to me was Deron West. Someone needs to tell me who Deron West is, okay? He's from the Village Department, Housing Department. And it says request is too cumbersome. I said, please, don't worry. I could write another one. And if you don't answer that, I'm going to get public access on y'all asses. Hold on. These are the other responses because I want to ask these questions and get the right answers. This was to the Village of Dolton. It says, this is a formal request to find out who is Dolton Police Department Firearms Restraining Order Coordinator. As per their policy, they're supposed to have one. Please provide any PDF or document guidelines highlighting the implementation of the firearm restraining order for officers. Because we want to know, what do they do when officers just shoot and kill? Do they put them on a restriction or anything? So with that goes to say, it was a response that says that my request yield zero response because no response record, no such person is designated. So they don't have no one for that. And these are the things I'm asking because I'm not about to just tell y'all anything. And I think this was the other one. Hold on. I think I'm still waiting for the one for Kamal. This one, this is a formal request for the clarification of who is in charge of the psychological evaluation of officers, and they don't have one for that, and they should have that as far as their rules and regulations for Dolton. And I still didn't get the one back from Kamal. Let me just look one more time because I've been so busy I couldn't. I said thank you to a few of them that I knew I was going to follow up and kick their butt. And the ones that I know I'm going to follow up, I said, let me shut the hell up and wait. Okay, that's it. So I didn't get a response about Kamal. I didn't get it about what he does in Dolton. And then I sent one to Thornton as well. And I didn't get one. So I don't know if Kamal doing anything in Dolton. And then I sent it to Thornton. All right, so these are some of the things we're going to be waiting to hear back from. He's her personal assistant. She's learned it means she's designated him as such. Yeah, she's her personal get his ass whooped because he sure enough can't do nothing. Funny how Dolton and Thornton has a mystery FIO employee. See, that was actually Dolton, the housing director or whoever. That wasn't the housing director, someone from the housing department that respond. Because sometimes they send them directly to the department, but I would assume the Freedom of Information Officer sends it to the department, and then the department sends it back to the Freedom of Information Officer because they have to have knowledge of, what they're releasing. Because some of the things they can't release, and everybody don't know. So I don't know, but y'all figure out who that guy is, okay? All right, let's make it down this PowerPoint real quick. I'm gonna have to give Miss Lightfoot some respect. We'll put some respect on Miss Lightfoot light ass report. I think that she didn't present it as well as she could. There's some things, but she did. She tried, but it was really dry eye. So let's get down to this. The 73 pages. We're going to jump down to page 11 because she did a whole bunch of fluffer. Very nice presentation, but I ain't got time for it. All right, so number 11, I said I'm going to do it 11 relevant state and local guidelines, very specific guidelines of organizations of various form municipalities. So this is right here. Basically, this was something I found was good, and y'all need to follow up. And I think the clerk is going to do it anyway, making sure that all y'all forms are transparent online. She talks about the audit, appropriation, the budget, just the things that they were supposed to do, as we know, and keeping things up with the comptroller. I think this is getting in alignments. That's why people would just listen like, okay, you're telling us some things that we already know. Now, village ordinance and resolutions, that's something that we should have up there. There should be a way, just like state law, that you should be able to go into Dolton and figure out what is the ordinance for the towns. And I think I got that. I do got that in my town, where we can figure out, like, if we get a fine for disorderly conduct, trash, some shit, stuff like that. Basic things is there. And the ones that, has to do with tax assessor's office, everything is in that same website. So this is what she was saying. This resolution, these ordinance needs to be put out there, which we know. Okay, it says laws are routinely ignored in many key ordinance and resolutions, some of which are historic, are simply not known. So we definitely know Tiffany wasn't paying attention to that. So that was stuff. Some of this stuff you could have saved your ink, saved your ink. I'm just being honest. Purchasing policy. So some of the things that we've been talking about, though, the village has a purchasing policy and a manual which provides. So if y'all want to know the purchasing policy, y'all can Freedom of Information request that. Guidelines and direction for acquisition of goods and services. When used with good judgment and common sense, the policies and procedures conveyed with and allow the village to obtain required supplies and services efficiently. She talks about generally the supplies and things are included within the budget. So they basically probably shouldn't be paid for on a daily basis. That's why it's ridiculous for Henyard to want a credit card for IT. For IT. Can anybody in the audience tell me what the hell? And that's for Thornton side. What do IT need a credit card for? I have great critical thinking skills. I can imagine the craziest shit, but I can't seem to think why IT would need a credit card. So this is the broad, and I understand Lightfoot that, people are following policies and procedures, but it was her. So I think you remind us of it, which was ridiculous. Now, this was the other thing too. I was kind of questioning about. Y'all have to answer this because I heard this already, but I know I'm not tripping. It says the purchase policy department heads has up to $1,000, and it's supposed to be like above $1,000 is supposed to be authorized. The village administrators up to $5,000. Anything up to $5,000 excess, the board has to approve. Yeah, this was implemented already. So what are we gonna do to fix it? See what I'm saying? Like, okay, this was implemented. So what are we gonna do to fix it? One thing she did say though, she did say that she gave recommendations, and it's kind of what I said. Make one person authorized to have the credit card, one person to authorize purchasing. It's called accounts payable. I don't think Dolton has an accounts payable. And that's another issue she had brought up. That basically they've been using an outside company to be their finance department. It's costing you hundreds, like thousands of dollars when you can have someone in-house. You guys, come on. I know you guys are intelligent out there in Dolton and Thornton. This is how big? 17 municipalities? And they can't get an accountant in there? Or they just don't want none. And I'm not talking about the trustees in this capacity, unless somebody verify that they've been doing this way before Tiffany. So that was some of the kind of provisions she was talking about. But I don't think she talked about hiring nobody. Hold on one second. I don't know why my throat's so itchy. Give me 1 second. My throat, like dry eyes. See, she making me have dry throat talking about her shit. I'm just playing. But I don't think she brought it up in this PowerPoint about actually having that provision in there. But I think it'll be a good idea to put that in there. You know what I'm saying? Accounts payable. A finance director, but you need an accounting department. You need an accounts payable department. How the hell do the people get paid? How do employees get paid? Can anybody tell me that? Because my mama, maybe it's just because this place is no disrespect, is owned by some people who like to save money. But my mother do accounts payable, she do accounts receivable, and she do purchases. But maybe because she a black woman and they making her do all the work. For real, seriously, she do all three. So she paid the facility, and I know it's hard to do it as a town for one person to do that, but you have a department. And my mama pay them people her checks, do their stupid schedule, stressed out about that, order supplies, and then pay the goddamn bills. So I don't know what's going on around here. That's why I know so much about HR, because I worked for her for about 6 years as a fake administrative assistant. I'm like, administrative assistant. I was a damn secretary getting paid $10. under 7 administrators. That's how I noticed you. God prepared me. There's some things that y'all can have in implementation that's pretty simple. And moving forward, now let's get down to 21 because we're gonna move through this. We ain't gonna be here all night. She hears something on the Mayor Henyard 21. 21 village administrator initial Dorothy Brown. Okay, manager finance under Henyard. So key personnel, finance director. Who is it? Who the hell? It was a vacancy. Oh, okay. That's what I got stuck because the PowerPoint post not look like this. It threw me off. Next time, change your bullets. All right. So this one could have not had a bullet. That's why it threw me off. Director of finance. It was vacant for a period of time. Then to Tanquilla Miller. Tangenique. That's her name. Tangenique. Because I was Tanquilla. I made up a name. Tangenique Miller fulfilled the role between 2022. And then she went part-time. And you know what? That episode of contentious Dolton meetings, y'all remember when she was outed about the Visa card? Tangenique was the one who did it by mistake because she was going back and forth. Y'all know I remember. She was, see, this is what Lori Lightfoot should have did, spiced up the shit. Like, y'all remember? I remember. Y'all like, I remember when she lost her job. She was about to lose her job. Yeah, so basically, Kiana asks, I'm remembering it right now, Keith Freeman about anybody having credit cards, asking you to have credit cards, and her, and she said nobody had credit cards, something. And somehow Tangenique came out and said something about a Visa. And Belcher was like, gotcha. No, she didn't say that, but basically Belcher was like, what Visa? And then Tangenique was like, I don't appreciate you guys not talking to me before I get here. And then she disappeared. Yeah, I know it was hard for her to work after that. Okay. The next person I want to highlight here is the director of administration. Y'all know we were talking about, I kept saying, who is Janice Johnson? Now, House, if you become the mayor, I will say, I know you say you were going to give some people some opportunity, but Janet Johnson been naming them damn lawsuits. Anybody naming them lawsuits, you know you can't fuck with them. They took it too far. I don't give a damn how much you paying me. I am out. I'm out. Okay, y'all? I live by high standards. So if they make it to them damn lawsuits, they out of there. So I just wanted to highlight that because I was like, oh, she put that in there, but I wanted y'all to remember who she was. It was the pretty girl that Tiffany was jealous of. You know, Tiffany was like, oh, she ain't gonna be there long. Miss Fugly gonna be mad at her. And the short detachment fucked up. She was out. Okay, where else we going? I'm trying to see if there's anything y'all in here. I'm trying to spice up her report. Okay, so stop it. I don't want to give y'all any dry eyes tonight. Management of city finance under Henyard. All right, let's get to 33. She tried it. You tried it, Lightfoot. Give me some more. All right, let's get to 33. I'm not mad at you, Lightfoot. You tried without your subpoena power. But even if you didn't, there's some things that you could have found out. Okay, I'm gonna name them. 33. This is the fiscal year 2023 information provided by the State Department of Commerce Economic Opportunity Relief Fund. We already knew that Tiffany had allegedly said she was going to get a grant but didn't get it. So this was things that we already knew. The village never actually received these appropriations. So with that, I think you should have told us, like, okay, what Tiffany did with the $5 million. Because cash can't be cash. Y'all remember we went through the first half of my pre-Lori Lightfoot report, which was way more detailed than this. The unauthorized cash was a lot of money. So I'm like, where the fuck did it come from? Do y'all just got it in a drawer? It got to be distributed? Or did you tell me that person didn't want to work with you? What the hell is going on? That's why I'm making the face, honeymoon. You know, I dig deep. That's why motherfuckers be mad at me. I'll be like, wait. Yeah. Something's missing. Something's missing. 34. Let's get to it. Revenue concern, usage of report. Now, this is about the COVID money. Now, remember about the COVID money that allegedly Henyard got and misappropriated. Again, this is something that you want to contact. You want to find out the American Rescue Plan Act. Maybe you guys, this was good information. The American Rescue Plan Act. Maybe you guys can follow up and find out what was the requirements for them and report her ass, because the feds ain't putting this shit together. So y'all, we might as well just keep on tearing up shit. Call, stand up for yourself, talk shit. Because obviously, if we wanted her arrested, she ain't getting arrested till after March. Allegedly. The boy, the okie doke. Don't start that shit. I'm talking to Lightfoot right now. You know, it's a 90-day window when the DOJ can't prosecute. They wasn't gonna do it anyway. Shit. Because some of the things that she put out here, she kind of confirmed. No, matter of fact, she said that she did not confirm the ice from the Amazon. I think that was something that we saw. At first I thought she did. She confirmed it. I was like, nah, she didn't confirm the ice. That funky ass place. You see how I turned my attention from Alexis, turning to Alexis Ice Justice Center? Like, fuck that. We don't want that funky ice. That ice looked disgusting. It looked tore up from the floor up. We'd rather do Melanie's Fitness and take the cop forfeiture money and fix that shit up. You know what I'm saying? That ice skate, pave over that motherfucker. Pave over it. Make it a roller skating ring. That'll be better. You just cement over that motherfucker. Put a little hill. Ice skate. I see y'all always coming up with a good idea, y'all. Now, y'all can make it a little skating park. Like for real, like you just put a few boys there and get them to cement it. Because that ice skating shit, baby, you know, waste your damn money. Look at this. As we talk about this was weird. This was weird. That's why it wasn't exciting, Lori. I don't like this. Let's zoom this up. It wasn't fucking exciting. So this was other expenditures that, you know, they was concerned about. Other expenditures, $481,000. That's nothing. We know it's millions. You know, we know she's been going in. We want to see this. Repaving the public work parking lot, $343,000. Some of these things were approved. I just think that she was just giving them to contractors that didn't deserve it. And that's when we could still look into that information without subpoenaing power. You see how I dig into shit? That's on my face type. If you have a pavement people who construction workers and shit, they done got checks. It's like $500,000, no, $5 million worth of checks, because that's what it says when we get there. $5 million worth of checks is sitting there. They got names on them. I know some of them, some of them, I know the trustees was just kind of approving them until they saw what the fuck. At some point within them checks, you have some of them rogue ass vendors, ones that were never presented to the board. It has to be some way that you guys can figure out who are these companies and how the hell they connected to Henyard. If I could do what I did for Jedediah in an hour and a half of looking at, getting all those clips and putting it together, you had a lot of time to put this shit together. You don't need a subpoena for that. You got Freeman. Am I tripping, y'all? I'm going to get to y'all question. I'm going to get to it. Am I tripping? Am I expecting too much on the behalf of the people? Maybe that's why I'm single. My standards is too damn high. It's okay. God got me. Because I ain't beat for this. You going to have to give me more. Then the skating ring is saying $171,000. I know we were hearing $1 million or more. Parking lot resurfacing. See, the issue with some of these, is like some of them could have been approved. But I think she just did not get the vendors approved. She did not. She was just giving them to her friends and shit. And that's where the investigation poster went into. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's what we was looking at. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna flash back to our finance lawyer and what he said, because basically everything he said that she could have did, she didn't. And I'm just saying, I'm being honest. I'm not being mean. Y'all need somebody like me to tell the damn truth. Lori, y'all like you, but you didn't do your job too much. Not for $400 an hour. Shit. I save people lives. Pay me $400 an hour. Yeah, I ain't never get that in my life. Come on, man. So this right here was just a way basically to show that the trustees were getting themselves together, like keeping the defect, not as the deficit. I do apologize. Ooh, my favorite resident was like, deficit. I hear you yelling at the screen. Shut up. Deficit. Deficit, okay? Shut up. That's my favorite girl. She be correcting me like, did you know you said that? I'll be like, oh, leave me alone. So yeah, the deficit doesn't look like it's increasing in the general funds is because Tiffany is out of there. They caught control. They took her off of all of the bank accounts. They took off of all of that shit. The average expenditure was about the same. I told y'all, even before Tiffany came, it was about $2 million a month. That was pretty typical, you know, but she was spending from the unauthorized cash. And this is right here, revenue and expenditures. This is unaudited, and this was happening in 2022, 23, 24, 25. And we showed you this. 25 is not here that much, so it's not that bad. Oh my God. But y'all still you at the same amount at the beginning of the year? Okay, no, you still at the same balance. Okay, that's what it is. I think this is the end of the year from the last year. What the hell going on here? Why is these two the same? And we only in January. It's the start. They starting off with 12 million. I gotta verify this because I ain't see that. I gotta look at because you know we're gonna do a Lori Lightfoot 2.0, baby. Yes, we are. I'm gonna get into some more details, especially if they put some more up there. But I'm gonna get into each of the categories to see can we figure out what the hell they were spending. We can't say who it was going to, like Lori Lightfoot coulda. All they had to do is just give you the damn papers in the departments. The hell? You got a subpoena? Dolton departments? Who the need to be subpoenaed, y'all? I really had to. Who needed to be subpoenaed? I thought everybody wanted her black asses out. I'm tripping. Anyway, general fund revenue, the expenditures, basically we just gonna not look at that for 2025. But 2024, you see this Tiffany. This is Tiffany, allegedly, and the expenditures was more than what came in. Okay. Now I don't know how y'all got $12.9 million in now. We gotta figure out what's going on in Dolton. Y'all getting the bell out? All right, now let's go. We about to go to the cash. We almost down. We all the way at 40, y'all. I'm making my way downtown. 41. 41 is the cash balance. Y'all see this? This is what I was talking about. Can you ask these people what's going on? That Grace Levi said where the cash at? Because I'll come up right in that drawer like, can I get some change? Please. Straight like a crackhead. Because that's what somebody doing here. Because if it's coming out, this is Village Host Essence Cash, but it's saying Village Bank accounts. How you don't know who taking it out? Ain't they working with you? I'm telling you, y'all, it's ways you could get this shit. Couldn't Keith Freeman give the right to the bank do an investigation of who was pulling out funds? If they were going to pull out cash? Don't everybody got their own credit card? That's what she said. I'm tripping. Moving forward. This is what it said. It said that this is in 42 about the 5. Now, this is where I told you I wasn't tripping. Look at this. Unfunded expenditures. This is where I'm saying that this doesn't make sense. Lori. It says, as presented in August since March 2023, nearly every month, a portion of the checks approved and printed have been held. As of June 18, 2024, there were 589 checks totaling over $6 million that had been approved and printed out since sent to vendors. That's not sent to vendors. We requested but not provided an update list of village held checks. Who didn't give that? The clerk? Who is not with this investigation that y'all need to go and jump on their ass? We have told, but we have been told, but unable to verify the amount of held checks. It's currently in the excess of $5 million. So if you know at least $5 million and you knew before 589 checks had over $6 million, this is what we think going on. And this is not to Lori Lightfoot. This is what we think is going on with the checks. Everybody who was in the comments kept asking, do we got the footage? They go Tiff looking like a crackhead. It's like a crackhead, for real. They got this. Is terrible. Hey, shout out to Dalton Politics. Even though we locked out, we still got.
An investigation finds Chicago's mayor.
An investigation for Chicago mayor. Isn't that a little fucking weird? She's possibly replacing checks. So can't the bank figure out where these checks were cashed? The ones that were cashed? That wasn't authorized? Am I tripping? Why do you need a subpoena for that when everybody's supposed to be working with you? What is going on in Dolton? That's why they be mad at me, because I be thinking different. What the hell is going on? Who is not working with them? Grace Leave, I want to know. Something is going on. Lori Lightfoot, I got to give you a little extra point because it seems like there's some type of hindrance going on. How the you say that they not telling you how many checks still there and things like that, and they pay you $400? The same people paying you $400 not telling you what the fuck is going on? Am I tripping? Who else supposed to be telling her this shit? They supposed to be having the access to this. Oh, let's move forward. I'm about to get this live over with. I love you, Lightfoot. Take your money and go. This is a shit show because this doesn't make sense. It don't. It really don't. Who is still holding shit up? Henyard? I thought I'm serious. Somebody tell me. I'm about to look in the comments because I'm over here fucking lost. All right, so the credit cards uses, as they say, we requested but did not receive credit card statements from July 2024 to December. So they requested it. Who are they requesting it from? Lightfoot. Who's she requesting it from? Not from y'all. See, y'all thought that she was requesting from the credit card statement, but you requested from the person when you do an audit. Like if the IRS audit my black ass, I got to give them all my stuff. They're not going to call my credit card companies and shit. I'm tripping. Lightfoot did her best. I'm going to have to retract my statement. Freak that. Because this seemed like a setup. I'm not getting into this. Some of the things that she did fine with some of the credit card use, and that was from earlier. It says over $171,000 spent on travel related to costs, airfare, excess baggage, hotels, meals, rental cars. Some but not all of these charges were reflected on the electronic warrant list with descriptions ranging from training accommodation to simply merit's name. So merchant's name, I do apologize. My thing is The ones that were approved versus the ones that wasn't approved, that wasn't on electronic list. You look at that. The people who made the reservations, like Keith Freeman, you know what I'm saying, has the credit card statement, has a copy of the airfare. I'm not beat. The information is there. You can find out who was on the tickets. Now, hotel, you book 5 rooms, but everybody got their name on the room too. I'm tripping. My expectations too high. That's why I'm single. I'm just keep it real. I don't nobody gotta be perfect, but I ask some questions to make a motherfucker can't never cheat. He be like, damn, she could smell it. I be like, what you was dreaming. Anyway, let's get down to the last few that I want to show you. Because I'm going to have to, like I said, retract my statement. Lori Lightfoot, I'm going to give it to you. You tried. You tried and tried. So take your bag and keep it moving, because somebody in Dolton was obstructing. After I had wrote my open letter to the Thornton Trustees with kindness, they like, we ain't going to help Grace with shit. She keep exposing shit we don't want to expose. I think it's some names in there that she may have not been comfortable exposing. I'm just going to be honest. She did go in towards the end and talked about policies and procedures. What I would do, I don't know what I could do, because I'm not going to show all of these, but I think if anybody would like, we could forward you these and you talk to your public officials about them. But the same policy of procedures that we talked about prior for the credit card, having a designated person, people actually following the rules. The same policy is already there for the $5,000 thing. We've been talking about that months ago. That may need to be lowered. It's a few more things. But I just think Henyard is rogue. I think it was policies there and it's just rogue. The best thing you can do now is just put them out in the public, have the people aware, and let them be able to air her ass out every single time she can. Because one thing I'm going to say, one thing that gives public officials who rogue as hell is when the people know the law. Y'all be seeing those cops that be pulling people over and they be like, I know my constitutional rights, and the cops say some bullshit. And it'd be like $100,000 lawsuit. That's the type of time y'all need to be on. I need to find ways to get these people. And he's gonna be honest. I know your tax don't pay for everything, but once they see that this is not sustainable, and that these elected officials are not gonna be able to hold their positions or fool the people by way of them knowing law, then they're gonna take a whole glass to shut the fuck up and sit down and do things right. I'm really going to have to send my apology and love to Lori Lightfoot. I know I started digging in your ass, just digging in the ass, just a little bit, digging in the ass, just a little bit. I had to, but then as you start to evaluate, you think about it as we do here, like adults, we like, wait a minute. Why the hell you have to subpoena the people who paid you? Now, I know somebody gonna come out in the public and retract Grace Levi's statement. Y'all know how they do the PR shit. But y'all need to answer this question. For real. Who was instructing Lori Lightfoot? A lot of this shit y'all could have gave her. It was like the IRS audited the person. I gave y'all an example. I have all the paperwork. I'm just gonna give it to them. They're not going to go to my credit card company. They're not going to go to my bank company account. They can't access that stuff unless they have a subpoena. Because, the IRS ain't the real government. That's why you give them all your fucking rights. Let's not even talk about that. Shut up. They're like, Grace Levi left brain is working. Yes. Well, anyway, with that goes to say, I think that's all we're sharing with you tonight. Shout out to Grace Steele for the update. Shout out to Jedediah for a win, God be the glory, just take a chill pill. You're doing fucking amazing. Fuck what they saying. Also, mind all of that. I want to say thank you for everyone who support Alexis Wilson. I want to send a loving shout out to all of the content creators who have been so nice to Grace Levi with my renegade ass. Let me use your clips, as well as a shout out directly to Dear Woke Christian, because the other night he had a live and my beautiful Cara was in the audience. You see how God just do, because she'll never be nowhere. And I just kind of popped in to Dear Woke Christian. Because I be so busy, I can't listen to everybody. But I just popped in and I saw Cara. And I'm like, oh, snap. And he gave her such a loving welcome. Everybody in his chat, flooded his chat with hashtag Alexis Wilson. So shout out to you, to Dear Woke Christian. You did an amazing job. And everyone, like I said, who has been showing Grace Levi love, you know what I'm saying, making the black sheep feel welcome. Feeling welcome, dog. I'm just playing, y'all. You know, I had to show a little bit sexy. I'm still single with my crazy ass. I love y'all. Y'all have a great evening, and y'all gonna be seeing some replays coming up this weekend, okay? And we will see you next week. We got 2 lives that we're gonna be going through. I think one is gonna highlight Perez first kill, Dante, and we're going to release more footage of the Alexis Wilson murder. Okay, we have it. We want to show you how these officers really behave. It's time.
Leader, they want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet, the mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work, no work. Y'all forget I am the leader.
Wrong one, baby.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
My delay is on tonight. Let's fall out with this, y'all.
Listen, if your voice ain't he the keeper of the sheep, I know he able. Crack them seals, let them horses out the stable. Judgment coming, he the only one can save you. Give your life to the Holy One who made you. He the keeper of the sheep, I know he able. Crack them seals, let them horses out the stable. Judgment coming, he the only one can save you. Give your life to the Holy One who made you. Worthy is the light.